what's going on, you guys? This is Hyperion-Blue-GT. It's time to get ready for another Group 3 race on Gran Turismo Sport. It's day 3 on the ring conditions on Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. So good thing I just took the qualifying time trial that this wheel might be given well achieved to have a 2 minute and 39.270 seconds. So this wheel might get started to use with the Porsche 911 RSR 2017 with my UDRS library variant. But this looks perfectly that this is going to be quite getting started to have the power and weight will be well adjusted, including with the racing heavy wet tires that this wheel might recommend. This looks good to go, and this wheel might be prepared. So before enjoying watching the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out some more videos if you like. Feel free to enjoy anytime you want for the entertainment. So let's go and get ready to race, and let's get it started. This racing lesson is all about drive faster when we're on the ring condition, but sometimes it's going to be quite very tough for all of us, so we just simply might be needs to stay focused to be well balancing up on the good stability to keep it up. Now, hope this is definitely might be quite given the best recommendable tires that this wheel might stay on. Intermediate or heavy wet is going to be quite given the best option. Now, hope this is definitely might be getting started for having a good warm-up for a minute, but I hope this is definitely might be giving plenty of efforts that this one might depends to choose the best Group 3 car, that this one might goes on to the stronger ways to keep it up for having a lot of good performance. But it depends on for each two specific drivetrains that this one might go with the FR or the MR. But it depends for each capability for a skilled performance that this wheel might come in handy to do it. First set of the warm-up is complete, but this is going to be plenty of faster work that this wheel might be needed to get started. Now, it's always to be taking 7 laps that this wheel might be given the spare time to be as the usual. Compared to the 8th lap on the dry conditions, is going to be given the fine weather that this is going to be taking on for the heavy rain conditions to be onto the effort. So I hope everybody is about to be choosing up the best Group 3 car that this will might be perfect to recommend. Let's all hope that this wheel might works perfectly, that this is going to be quite getting in to take the rolling start to begin. So I hope GTP Deadpool is taking the first place wheel might be going in onto the head start. We'll have to let him go first to take the final corner to be going in, and we'll have to do the rest to take that practice step that this will might give a short time. So here we go. Green flag is on the rolling start to begin, but this is going to be taking some plenty of stability to keep it well maintained. But the possibility that this wheel might have to determine for each transmission gears for different drivetrains by 2 in the Group 3 category. So this might come to be having a sort of an analysis that this is definitely might be having the second gear that this will might be quite stay well maintained. But it takes required technique for mid-engine Group 3 cars that this will might be given the ways to perform. Compared to the FR Group 3 cars, is definitely might be doing the same effort as possible. But this is definitely might be quite given the ways to stay on the good balancing ways to do it. But taking the good straight is going to be given the best ways to perform on the aggressive approach that this wheel might be giving in to raise up the acceleration before approaching onto the turns. Just gonna have to brake very nice and easy, that this is definitely might be given the techniques to stay on the good stability to have a one good pressure on to be in the right direction. Just gonna have to take plenty of workout steps that this is definitely might be needed to perform. Just gonna have to do every strategy skills whenever you're gonna have to go with passive or having aggressive, and probably have both at once. But it's definitely might be quite giving some few techniques if you guys really want to do it. Taking practice is important when we're on the rainy day condition. It's gonna be quite giving the time to do it. So whenever it depends on, just gonna have to keep a good eye out on the handling whenever you're gonna have to use the radar. It will help you, but this will might be stay on the line, that this is definitely might be given the good ways to do plenty of progress whenever you guys have to do it. But this is going to be taking a little bit few times that this wheel might be given ways to do it, to take a patient moment. Just try to keep passive whenever you really want to stay in the good balancing shape for this race. Down might help out soon enough. Now let's just gonna have to get started in. Just gonna have to keep push up to the limit to take that slipstream wheel might be needed to race up the miles. So looks like this is going to be taking a little bit getting off the track, so we have to be avoided. Going in onto the final turn. Hope this is going to be taking in some few gap distance. We might give plenty of space. So the hard turns is definitely might be giving a little bit switched back onto the first gear for mid-engine Group 3 cars. So that might be giving a one good idea that this is definitely might be quite given the ways to see it. Now, hope this is definitely might be switched back to the first gear, so this will might be switch it up quickly as possible to go on the acceleration. But if possible, whenever you're gonna have to use the brake balance, just gonna have to try to keep it steady, but don't want to get too aggressive. That wheel might be loosening up on the balance of the grip. Looks like Flash 2091 is about to be coming in, and looks like Tusa Company is going to be quite coming in. Just going to keep it nice and steady. Don't want to do any mistakes. Gotta have to take it much concentration to be needed as possible. Unfortunately, it takes plenty of view distance for each driver who really wants to go on for a better position, but it needs to take plenty more time, so it depends on each transmission mode type whenever you really want to go with. Now this is definitely might be quite giving a good exact to have a good view to take a good look, folks. The FR and the MR Group 3 car is definitely might be racing out on the ring, but this is going to be quite taking some few hand cornering skills when you're on the rainy track, that this is definitely might be quite getting the ways to perform. But the MR is definitely might be given the best ways to deal with the corners on the wet track. But it's definitely might be quite easily to be loosened up, but it has to be taking a lot of good perfection. Just gonna might need to stay on track to be needed to learn. And the FR is going to be quite doing good to stay on the good current condition, that this wheel might be taking a good balance to try to keep it well maintained. Comparison is definitely might be given the matters, so I hope this is definitely might be given the ways to see how GT3 race cars can probably race it out onto the wet track on the outside. But that's how they always does, because this race always brings some more action. To have a one race to be in the wet condition is going to be quite very hard to get. So we just definitely might be need to learn to overcome. Just gonna have to stay onto the first gear at the final corner, so hope this is definitely might be going in onto the dirt lap. But this is gonna be quite taking a lot of strength that this wheel might be need to push up onto the throttle. Just gonna have to find a good early braking point whenever we have to do it. Going in onto the fifth gear, this is going to be quite taking a little bit risky. Just try to keep it well handling in for it, but it's definitely might be taking a small risk. Now I hope this is definitely might be given the best way to have one vehicle to be on the overtake, that this will might be need to take that slipstream. Just try to take it nice and slow. Don't want to get a little bit slam in onto any racer who really wants to perform. That wheel might be getting a little bit easily to decrease the sportsmanship rating to be dropped down onto the orange effect. Now it looks like 3 FR Group 3 cars are definitely might be taking a good strong grip that this might be easily to be performed. But as a mid-engine Group 3 car, just giving a 1 MR drivetrain for the example, just gonna have to take plenty more passive work that this is gonna be quite given the ways to difference to do it. But it takes plenty of racing research work that this wheel might be having a difference to be quite given the time to give you the examples that this wheel might be going in onto the oversteer on the wet track. But it definitely might be quite very easily to be aggressive for mid-engine race cars who can probably really needs to take plenty of distance who might be going in onto the speed. Just try to keep it nice and easy. But this is definitely might be giving them one good important objective that this will might be having a good Group 3 race for having a workout. But it happens whenever you really want to take the inside turns. It's possible that this wheel might help. Just trying to catch up with the rest. But this is definitely might be quite taking a little bit hard time to stay on the good balancing position, but whenever we have to go with. Now looks like fourth lap is going to be getting a little bit halfway on the middle. It's going to be quite stepping in. Now this wheel might be relaunched to going in onto the downhill straight to be approaching onto the hill. Just gonna have to take a little deceleration, and maybe if you guys really want to do this, because you're the experts, you know the track and the corners is going to be quite very challenging it can get. Oh boy, looks like this is going to be quite giving the same thing from the first day, folks. That's going to be a hard time. Yeah, that's how it happens. Try not to get too aggressive. That might be easily to be prevented as spin-outs. But no penalties will be affected, but just going to have to try to make sure, just keep it well careful whenever you really need to stay on a good balancing position if you really want to use the brake balance to keep it steady. But it's all about taking the pressure. But this is definitely might be need to do a lot of work. Now, looks like this is going to be giving a little bit drop down onto 14th place. But this is going to be taking a little bit longer. Well, I hope this is definitely might be giving you a little bit few efforts if you guys really want to try to keep it well calm. But it's definitely might be giving a fine time to have a good clean race to be on the rainy conditions. But sometimes just gonna have to learn to be patient whenever we have to drive to go faster. But it's very slippery, so we just definitely might be needs to stay onto the passive run that this is definitely might be needed to perform. Now, hope this is definitely might be getting in onto the final corner. But still got plenty of enough fuel. But this is definitely might be keep it well remind to check. Now, hope this is going to be going in onto the 5th lap. This is going to be taking a pit stop that this will proceed to go on to lap number 6. It's going to get very closer to take plenty of efforts that this will might be needed to take. So looks like once again for having a new fastest lap time is GTP Deadpool for 2 minutes and 36.808 seconds. Looks like he's really enjoying for having a good time, for having a nice race to be on the ring condition. But it's definitely might be super tough for all of us if we have to try to take a good perfection race to perform. Now, looks like it's going to be taking some few techniques if we have to do this every time. But it's very good for every Gran Turismo players if we have to do plenty of concentration skills to do some more practice. That's going to be quite giving the basic ways to learn to overcome the skills on the ring condition on Spa-Francorchamps. Now, this is going to be quite getting better. But it's easily that this wheel might be worked perfectly to have the heavy wet tires that this wheel might be given in to stay on a good stability balancing position. But it's going to be quite very tougher when each opponent who really wants to have one good space to be on the overtake. So I hope this is definitely might be needs to be very careful. Just going to have to try to take it nice and slow. Just gonna have to take that good straight. Hope this is definitely might be getting a little bit curb turns. We'll might be keep it simple. Alright, just gonna have to stay on the good balancing line of approach to going in onto the chicane. So I hope this is definitely might be given the pit stop time that this wheel might go proceed. And it looks like just gonna have to wait, and there you go. Well, looks like that was gonna be quite very close. I was about to get a little bumped in, so just gonna have to give a little bit polite moment. Now it's gonna be quite doing better to whenever it depends on each choice of a pit stop that this one might goes in onto 4th or 5th lap. Now this is gonna be taking some spare fuel that this wheel might be needed. I mean, looks like I'm in last place in 14th position, folks. Now it definitely might be quite better if I have to try to go faster it takes, but it's definitely might be quite very slippery, so just gonna might need to keep our A game up to keep it well focused. But I know it's definitely might be doing best to try to keep up for going a one racing aggressive that this wheel might be needed to take a good precision to overcome the Rain Masters is going to be quite very skillful to take. But it takes plenty of skills of a practice that this wheel might be need to go with the flow. Looks like this is going to be taking a little hard on the inside. Just going to have to try to stay onto the good mileage that this is definitely might be getting a little slow time. Hope I could probably need to get back onto the better position. But this is going to be quite very longer it takes, but we still try to keep it going. But it's definitely might be quite very difficult it can get. Okay, with the full one is now in 13th place. Hope I could probably need to get in. But it's going to be quite very slower for a mid-engine race car that this wheel might be trying to stay to overcome onto the different condition. There we go. Looks like this is going to be quite taking some few basic steps that this wheel might be going well achieved. But this is going to be taking a little warm up on the example. But it's going to be quite very risky. Just try to keep it careful, but otherwise that wheel might have a result of a 1 second penalty to be collided with the vehicle in case just trying to get in to be on the overtake, to be on the straight. But that's going to be one important racing rules on the rain condition. Is going to be quite very important to take the final lap to go in. So here we go, final lap. And this will might be conclude to have the end of day 3. We'll be having a good training workout section that this is definitely might be giving the ways to see it. But all what's left of it, that this will might be goes down into last place. But this is definitely might be needs to go harder for the next day. Now it's going to be getting a one-step approach to be on the straights, but this is definitely might be having 2 drivers to be slowed down to be closing in to decelerate by the penalty line. Okay, looks like this is going to be getting a little bit harder to do this turn, but it's going to be quite getting close. There you go. Looks like this is going to be going in onto 13th place. Well, this is definitely might be getting a little bit few gap distance for only 1 minute and 19 seconds. So looks like GTP Deadpool has finally made it in first place onto the podium. But he is a very good, skilled, talented rainmaster, folks. He is going to be the expert to be on the rainy day condition. It's going to be quite taking a lot of good skills. It's only down for only 30 seconds left, and this is going to be quite taking a lot of hard risk. Darn it, looks like this is going to be pulling me back down onto last place. This is going to be quite taking plenty more need to do to switch back to the FR Group 3 car. Well, MR cars is definitely might be taking a lot of few basics that this will might be needed to perform. Oh well. Hope this is definitely might need to take plenty of good work to do it. But I guess this is going to be taking a lot of better times that this will might be given accounts to do it. But anyway, it's definitely might be pretty hard for having a 1 star for having a clean race. But this is definitely might be needs to do over. Just gonna have to back to square one. So hope this is definitely might be giving some small earnings that this will might be getting well better. Well, I hope this is definitely might be quite taking a lot of few excellent work. But got to be quicker than that. But this is definitely might be pretty hard to take to see how every other racer who has that penalty mark on the red dot is going to be quite very mistaken to be made. So I hope this is definitely might be given the best ways that this will might need to take plenty more practice to go. It's very tough for a Group 3 racing category to drive faster it takes to be on the rain condition on Spa-Francorchamps. But whenever it depends which drivetrain, whenever you really want to go with, probably the FR or the MR is going to be quite given well determined to see this wheel might be given a good well balance to take. So choose wisely to take the good perfection, to take the good opportunity that this wheel might have plenty of racing workout skills to be on the wet track. But it's going to be quite very slippery if we have to try to go easy on us to take it nice and slow. Alright folks, glad that you really enjoyed this race. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, bell for notification uploads, and the links on the description down below if you want to see more. And library block videos are available to watch anytime you want. This will be the entertainment showcase about different cars with libraries I have been made. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for continuing on the daily race on Gran Turismo Sport, and I'll see you guys later. Keep on racing, stay clean.